Hi, one of the powers of GIS is to turn flat files or Excel files or DBF files into GIS data using a couple of simple techniques. We talked about adding XY data if we have a column that represents latitude and longitude. We can also read in coordinate geometry files, and that's a little bit more advanced. We can do something called geocoding, which converts addresses to points, lines, or polygons, typically points. In this example right here, we're going to go through and add a flat file for average travel time that I downloaded from the census. I can click on my black plus sign to add my data. I'm in my GIS demo folder here, and I have a file here called traveltime.dbf. You can see when I open it up right here, it's got 100 records. Okay, these 100 records coincidentally happen to mean the number of counties within North Carolina. But you can see here I have two fields. I have average time, and this is the average commuting time for each person by county, average at the county level. And I have a FIPS code. This is the Federal Information Processing Standard code for each county. You notice I don't have a county name right here, but a FIPS code is a unique identifier for each county. For the state of North Carolina, it's 37. So any county that begins with 37 is always going to be North Carolina. And then 001 is going to represent the first county alphabetically, in this case, Alamance County. Durham County is 37063, I believe. Okay, over here, right here. But this is just a DBF file that can be opened up in a number of spreadsheet applications right here. And we have a FIPS code right here. Typically, when we get to enumeration units at the sub-county level, we're just going to add units, add numbers onto this here. And you notice here this FIPS code is justified to the left, meaning that we treat it as a string. So if we have states like Alabama, which begin with 01, we're not going to get rid of that leading 0. Typically, if we have a number like 100, it's not 0100, it's just 100. We get rid of that leading 0 because it's implied. You can see here we have this FIPS code, and as we get to the tract, the block group, and even the block level, we're going to add more and more units here so we can get to finer and finer enumeration units. But for anything for North Carolina, it's always going to begin with 37. Anything for Alamance County is always going to begin with 37001. So that way we can create unique FIPS codes for every census enumeration unit down to the block, which contains only a couple hundred people within the United States. Now you can see here we don't have a county name right here, but if I open up my attribute table for my states, I do have a county name, but I also have a state FIPS, a county FIPS, and I have a FIPS code. The power and what we need to do with GIS is what I want to do is add this table, sync this table at the end of this table. This is my GIS attribute table, because you can see I can just grab some of these. These are highlighted, and you can see they're highlighted over here in my GIS data layer. If I do the same thing with my travel time, that's not the case here. I'm moving down here. That's not the case here. So I need to give it GIS data, and I can easily do this by doing a join. And all I'm going to do is just add this table to the end of my NC counties table. Using the FIPS code is what we call our key. The cardinality that we're talking about here is 1 to 1, meaning that there's one county for every one entry in my travel time, which represents our counties in this case. We can have many to one or many to many. We won't get into that in detail. So if I right mouse click here, I have joins and relates. I can go through and join this here. I'm going to join attributes from a table. I have another thing here called based on spatial location. This is a spatial join that we'll talk about later. Join tables. I'm going to join my FIPS code. If I had something that was county name, I could join my county name to my county name, but you can see over here in my travel time table, I don't have a field called county name, so I can't go through and do that. I'm going to dictate my travel time as my table that I'm going to join, and the only option that I have here is to join to my FIPS. It's going to say keep all records, and I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to X out of this here. Now I'm going to open up my attribute table, and now you should see when I open up my attribute table, I've synced it up. So now I've got my Dare and my Avery. Actually, I'll probably sort ascending right here. Here's Alamance County right here. If I move over here, now I can see an object ID for that other table that I have. And I have my average time and the FIPS code that was used as the key to match up with it. Okay, so this is very, very powerful tool that we have right here. Okay, I can go through now and make a map of this. I can go look at quantities, average time. Here we go. And you can see here, yellow areas represent my counties that have the lowest average travel time, commute time to work. My dark blue areas have my highest commute time. And you can see here as we zoom in, as we look in on more urban areas right here, you can see Forsyth County, Guilford County right here, low travel time. Here you can see in northeast North Carolina here, high travel time because probably people are going to be commuting up to the urban areas in southeast Virginia here. You can see the areas surrounding Raleigh are getting higher and higher with Johnston County here. Chatham County over here as people move further and further out so they can commute to urban areas here. But you can see right here we have a very simple flat file, what we call here, just a table. And as long as we have something that implies location, in this case, which is the FIPS, and we need a column here in FIPS that matches up with the column here in FIPS. As long as we have two things that imply location, one is which in the GIS attribute table, we can make GIS data out of it.